Hey everybody, welcome to your June 2022 astrological forecast. Keep in mind that this is just a general reading. However, if you would like to have something more specific like your own chart done, there's a link below in the description box to my website where you can check out my services. There's also a link to something called Ask Me a Question, which is for people who only want to know maybe one or two things about their chart. So there's a link below to that too. I would like to take this opportunity to thank my subscribers again for their continued support. And if you're new to my channel and you like this video, please like and share it. It really helps my channel to grow, along with subscribing, and click on the little notification bell and you'll be notified each time I upload something. Okay, and also check out my weekly forecasts. Hi Libra, welcome to your June 2022 astrological forecast. The sun's in Gemini in your 9th house up until the 21st. Mercury does start off the month retrograde in Taurus, okay, in your 8th house, but turns direct on the 3rd, keeps moving forward, and it goes back into again Gemini in direct motion in your 9th house, okay, and Venus moves into Gemini on the 22nd. So you have all these really nice planets in your 9th house of long distance travel, communication, publishing and media, legal matters, foreign anything, foreign people, countries, language. So, but it is really a long distance in communication, long distance travel and communications, okay? Basically, it's a lot of other things, but it is the house of adventure and stuff like that. So maybe you are actually traveling somewhere at this time. If not, this could be, the sun's here at the same time every year. So this may be a time where you do actually take some kind of vacation, where you do travel at a distance, even if it's like within your own country. Some kind of travel plans. If you're able to pull them off, maybe you weren't, because Mercury, one of the planets of travel, okay, travel and communications, was retrograde in Gemini, okay, and it fell back into Taurus. Then again, like I said, it's moving in direct motion and it's in Gemini again. So when it was retrograde, maybe you weren't able to take a trip that you had planned on taking. And now you can, especially when Mercury moves into Gemini on the 13th, so it'll be back in your 9th house. If that's not the case, you could have been having a long distance conversation with somebody. It could have been by phone, email, regular postal mail even. And you just weren't getting anywhere, This being the house of legal matters, maybe it was regarding a legal matter. And you weren't getting any kind of answers to your questions. Maybe you were having to deal with someone that was like just there temporarily, maybe someone was off, the person that would normally be able to help you or actually knows more about what you're inquiring about. Maybe they just weren't there. So you had to deal with someone else, and you didn't get anywhere. You didn't get anything. Okay, so now you can try again when Mercury is in Gemini direct, okay? Now, the fact that it has moved back to Taurus in your 8th house of other people's money and resources, this is a house of refunds, insurance payouts, settlement payouts, legacies, inheritances, prize money, winning money, okay? But, maybe that's what this is. Maybe you are owed some kind of settlement, and that's what you've been inquiring about. Or 8th house is also jointly held property or something that you own with someone else, okay? So maybe you were going back and forth with them trying to figure out what to do with this property. Either one of you can own it and the other one buy the other one out or whatever, So now things are getting back to kind of like normal, Maybe it will all be settled, let's say like by the end of the month, okay? This is also a media and publishing house. If you do write, or produce anything that you would put, let's say, like online in social media or on the internet, because ninth house is one of the houses of the internet. Okay, so you might be, like putting something out there that's some form of entertainment. Okay. Let's see here. And again, you could actually just hear from someone that lives in another country or that lives at a distance. Could be, someone you haven't heard from for a while. But there's a full moon in Sagittarius, okay, on the 14th, where you have Sagittarius is your third house. It's directly across from your ninth house. So both of these are communication and travel houses, but third house is like local travel, okay, and regular everyday communications. But it's also like postal mail, regular postal mail, email, text message, voicemail, something like that. And a full moon here, what full moons do are bring things to the surface, like an issue or something that has become an issue. Before it was just a little conversation, but now it's all puffed up, into something much bigger. So it comes to the surface where it can be dealt with and then done away with. So I would have to say this is some kind of communication thing that you're having with somebody who, lives in another part of the world or just lives far away from you. And, you could have a conversation by phone, or you could receive something in the mail around this day, a couple days before or after, around any phase of the moon. It's in effect, the new moon and full moon is usually in effect day before or day after, then the actual day. So, and it could be in regards to, anything, all of the things that I just mentioned that the ninth house covers. So, but you're able to get it off your chest. It has come to an end, whatever it was that you were having to go back and forth with somebody over. Okay. The sun moves into Cancer on the 21st, and there's a new moon here on the 28th, where you have Cancer in your chart as your 10th house of your public persona, your career, how you're known publicly by profession or personal, your personal reputation. Okay, but this is like your most public house, so if you're in the public eye, you really are in the public eye at this time. With the sun here, you're like all lit up and people are noticing you. So with a new moon here, you could possibly be starting a new job, but there's not a lot of indication for something like that in your chart right now. Or you could like say or do something publicly, and this is also on social media. When you make a post and it is public, the public can view it, right? If your account is that kind of an account. So you could do or say something publicly, but you could do it through social media also. That gets like a lot of attention, You could announce something at this time. That's what the new moon is for, bringing new activities to this area or a new start. So, that's something right there. You could be starting a new position somewhere, or a new job or something like that, but you could just have a whole new outlook when it came to how people view you, or how they think about you. You might be preoccupied with your reputation, even your personal reputation. So you might be taking like serious steps right now to make yourself look better, or more appealing. Let's put it that way. More appealing, even like appearance-wise, because people will really notice you now a lot more. Okay. When Venus moves into Gemini, like on the 22nd, it'll be in your 9th house. Okay, so again, you could be having communications with someone. They don't have to live at a distance, but whatever. And with Venus, it makes your communications a little bit more pleasant. It's trying to avoid unpleasant topics or of conversation, or not wanting to discuss anything too seriously, or too serious. Okay, so when Venus moves into your 10th house, people will really notice you for your appearance usually. Okay, and they will make comments on compliments though, about your appearance, or it could be your achievements though too. If you have done something that's newsworthy, whatever, people will be discussing it. Okay, so just make sure that you look, especially when the sun moves into Cancer on the 22nd, 21st rather, make sure you look nice when you go out in public, because people are looking at you. The sun is there, it's shining brightly on you, so that they don't really have a choice but to look at you. So keep that in mind. You should look your best. Let's see here. So, Saturn is in Aquarius, and it turns retrograde on the 4th. So you have Saturn in your 5th house of romance and creativity and fun, any form of entertainment, children, anything to do with children, but it could also be like children's games, visiting places like an amusement park. This is also the house of gambling and speculation. Sometimes you may even take a gamble, though, on yourself, or this being the house of romance. That romance kind of has dried up for you in a way with Saturn here. It's made it kind of boring, or too much work, not really worth it. Just trying to figure out what you're getting out of this. It has been, though, Saturn's been here for a while, okay, a few years, and it may have put a real damper on your love life, but it did bring maybe people into your life that were like a lot more stable than you're used to, possibly. You had Uranus in Uranus was in Aries for the longest time, your opposite sign, so it like opposed any planet that you have in Libra. For years you had unpredictability in your life when it came to anything. Actually, you just like really never knew what the hell was going to happen. Okay, so now that this Saturn has moved into your 5th house, romance was one of those areas too, but your relationships with anybody was like really unpredictable. Okay. And, well, anyway, so maybe somebody really solid came into your life, and that's what you needed, at that time. You needed somebody sensible, even. But that said, they can be, like, really boring, and maybe you need excitement. You need something, maybe your love life has become too predictable. You do the same things all the time, never go anywhere new. Blah, blah, blah. Maybe you don't even go out. Maybe you just hang out at each other's place or something, It's nice to get dressed up and go out sometimes, right? You need something different, okay? And that's what you could be thinking of when this planet turns retrograde. You're reviewing in your mind all your past romances even, possibly. What's good, really good for this Saturn placement right now is if you are involved in anything creative, okay, a project that you're working on, especially if you're working on alone, because Saturn gives you the ability to stick to something that is very boring, it's repetitive, having to do something over and over again, the same thing, and after a while maybe that would get you, but with Saturn here it does give you the ability to stick with something that is like very I don't know, it's not very exciting, but it's worthwhile. Okay, so it's something in the end will bring a lot of good things to you, but just getting there, it just seems like really boring, like I said, or it's not going to work out or something or other. But with retrograde here, you're getting a chance to review things in this area of your life, okay? So also, Neptune turns retrograde on the 28th, and you have Neptune in your 6th house of Pisces. So this is like the workplace and the kind of work that you do. But it is the house of health, and I've mentioned this I don't know how many times that, you know, you really have to watch your health, especially when you are taking even prescribed drugs. A lot of times with Neptune here, it's hard to diagnose anything that's wrong with you. Okay, you have symptoms, you've been to how many doctors, nobody can figure out what the hell's the matter with you. This could be one of those times, though, because this is, again, when it goes retrograde, sometimes retrogrades are good, you know, for that very reason, is you get the chance to review, okay? So maybe you can figure out that you're eating something, or you're near something when you're outside that's setting you off, or you're near a person that wears like a certain kind of perfume or even deodorant or whatever, or you're eating something that you know, maybe never even bothered you before, but you've developed an allergy to. But this is one of those times, though, where you could have a bad allergic reaction to even prescribed drugs. Okay, so always, you know, check out what you're taking. Check out what's being prescribed for you from a doctor. You know what I mean? A lot of doctors, their background, though, too, you have to take into consideration what part of the world they're from, because their culture does affect the way they practice. Okay, got to think. And if you're a woman, you know, in some countries you don't even matter. So if I were you, I'd, you know, really ask an awful lot of questions. People don't always do that, especially with doctors. But if you the more information you can give them about your symptoms, no matter how ridiculous it sounds, the better they are able to diagnose you or help you, or at least tell you who to go to. Okay. Oh, let me see what else. Okay, well, that's pretty much it. You know, okay, the best time to do something each month is when the moon is in your own sign. And the moon is in Libra on the 8th, 9th, and 10th. The best time to lay low is when the moon is in your opposite sign, and your opposite sign is Aries, and those dates are the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. The best time for recreation, creativity, fun. Let's see here. Gambling or speculation and anything to do with children is the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 16th, 17th, and 18th. The best time for money is the 10th, 11th, 12th, 23rd, 24th, and 25th. The best time for your career is the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 28th, 29th, and 30th. And the best time for communication and travel is the 12th, 13th, 14th, 25th, 26th, 27th. So I hope you enjoyed your June forecast. Be sure to check out my weekly forecast, and I'll see you then. Goodbye.